All right, what you're seeing in this video is an example of competition for food. There are two doe families that are in this field, and they do not want each other there. The food is getting scarce, and they're starting to run each other off because they want it for themselves because they know food is getting limited, and big mamas are pushing off the other mamas, and they're about getting ready to have a fight.
Those two mama does are gonna whoop each other. Don't mess with mama. Who's the baddest mom on the block? What you gonna do when mom comes for you, my bad mom, bad mom? I'm not sure if they're annoyed by the little ones or they're two doe families trying to share a food plot, getting ticked off at each other, but it's pretty cool. Although, I got this nice food plot and they're over there browsing on invasive honeysuckle. Not real great. Pretty neat though.
All right, so I'm on the nature trail, or I'm on the playground right now, but we've been talking about succession. Or maybe I haven't even talked about it yet, but succession is basically the progression stages that a forest or any ecosystem goes through, okay? We have primary succession, which starts from nothing, okay? It's basically starts from rock, and we'll learn about the rock cycle and how plants break down over time, they start with some dirt, and then a pioneer species comes like a lichen or moss, and eventually organic matter is built up, soil is built up, and we start plants growing, and we end up with ecosystems like this where we have forests, okay? But that's a very, very long process. The other kind of succession is secondary succession, and that happens all the time. And that is where some sort of disturbance causes a ecosystem to start over in its growth cycle. So it could be a fire. I do prescribed fire, which I'm going to show you the video here soon. And there's a reason I do prescribed fire. It's basically resetting an ecosystem to speed up succession or sometimes restart succession, because early succession is the beginning stages of secondary succession when, let's say that I burned this whole forest, okay? That seems like a terrible idea, but there are certain native plants that are resistant to it. Like, it wouldn't necessarily kill the big trees if they are native plants, but it would kill all the stuff that isn't native, the honeysuckle and things like that. But when that new growth starts growing, it's very thick and tender, and all of the ashes go into the soil, and it's like a fertilizer, and everything that starts growing is very lush and tastes very good and is very nutritious for animals. Just like the tips of the trees that the animals eat are very palatable. They taste really good. Now, the old branches, like the big thick branches, don't, but the tips of the trees taste really good. All right, they nip those off all the time. When you start a fire through a woods, every single plant that comes up is at the deer's height, okay, for them to eat. It is right at their dinner table is right on the ground. Lots of places to hide. So when you do a disturbance, it could be in areas where there's volcanoes. There could be a volcano eruption and lava goes through, a fire, a tornado that blows down giant trees. All of that restarts a forest, okay? Animals benefit from that because it makes lots of plants on the ground. One example of succession people don't realize, if you look on the edge of a forest, okay, you notice the trees, farther back you go, the bigger the trees get, okay? The taller the trees are, the more mature they are. That is because succession is farther along there. here on the edge, the plants get mowed down, or maybe the janitors or maintenance come along and they trim the trees back so their mowers aren't hitting them. Every time they keep disturbing that, young plants like bushes grow up. So on the edge of a forest, it's kind of transitional cover. And the farther back you go, the more close to a climax forest you'll come to. And a climax forest just means it's grown to mature. Okay, in my opinion, a climax forest isn't a good thing, because usually a climax forest is trees are matured and they are making all kinds of shade in the forest, and then you end up with a forest where there's nothing on the ground floor for animals to eat. Now, our nature trail, it looks like there's some food down here, but this is all invasive species. Okay, this is called honeysuckle, and it looks like it's giving them some food. If they're eating this, they're desperate. They like to eat native hardwood regeneration. So if I would cut all this honeysuckle down, there are acorns down here in the dirt that have been there for years, decades sometimes. And if we can open the forest floor and get rid of some of the leaves and let those acorns take off, those young oak trees and things, that's what deer love to nibble on. And the ones that make it big will produce more seeds. Now, these huge trees in here look beautiful, but with all of this honeysuckle, there is never going to be plants growing in here. So even if we open the canopy up and got rid of the shade from those big trees, this honeysuckle is shading the ground up. And eventually, when all these big trees die, there'll be nothing but these nasty little honeysuckle bushes. But the things with the honeysuckle bushes are, they're hard to walk through, but if you get down low in a ecosystem with these invasive bushes, there's still nowhere for animals to hide because the sunlight is not getting to the ground. So if I squat down to a rabbit level or a deer level, there is nowhere to hide for predators or hide from predators. Okay, it is wide open on the forest.
Hey guys, it's me, Bob. Remember me? Got a name, go same frontwards and backwards. This way, it's Bob. And then backwards, it's Bob. Mr. D, he would be Brent Tenerb. Brent, not near as cool as Bob. Bob backwards, guys. So I told you the other day that I was going to mess with Mr. D on the nature trail. You guys are talking about competition. And so I'm going to talk about some competition in an ecosystem. When he comes through here, the competition is me messing with Mr. D, okay? It's also a form of symbiosis, okay? Which is like, I think maybe it'd be mutualism because I'm having fun picking on him and he's not having fun me picking on him. So it's not mutualism. No, maybe it's parasitism because he's not benefiting and it's hurting him because I'm going to scare him and I'm having a good time. So we're going to mess with him. So I'm going to get an acorn here. I'm going to throw him at him when he comes by. All right. Get ready. Here he comes. Shh. Do I blend in really well? Maybe I need to stick some sticks in. Hold on. I got this. Hold on. I'm camouflaged now. Oh yeah, I got a leaf there. Okay, I'm camouflaged now. He'll never see me. Here he comes. I'm gonna throw this stick at him. Oh, there he is. Oh.
So like I was saying, oh, someone just threw something at me. Who did that? I swear I just got hit with something. All right, so when we are, what the heck? Something just hit me in the head. Somebody there? In the world? Hey, what was that? Is somebody here? I swear somebody just threw a stick at me. I'm gonna throw another one. All right, guys, I'm working on my camouflage here. All right, I'm hiding. Mr. D is really, really freaked out. So I'm gonna scare him again. I'm gonna make a wild call, like a wild animal, and see if he takes off running. Because there's no way he can see me hiding here. Because I'm really camouflage. That's an adaptation that we learned about. When an animal makes a change to survive in the wild, that's what I'm doing. I'm making an adaptation. I camouflaged myself. Okay, here we go. Here he comes. Caw, caw. Oh, he's looking. He's looking. He's looking. Caw, caw, caw. Oh, oh, oh. All right. Hey, Bob. I see you behind that tree. Yes, I do. You're standing there with a pile of leaves on your head, cawing at me. Now you're talking to me. I definitely see you. Bob, you're an idiot. No. No. Go inside, Bob. Bob, the only thing cool about you is your name. Yeah, that's it. That is it. I'm sorry, Bob. Bob, you're not helping at all. No. You're kind of a moron, Bob. Let's be real. Oh, Lord, Bob. All right, so like I was saying, this forest is more... Whoa, what the heck was that? Hey, somebody over there? What was that? This guy hit in the head with a stick. Ah, gosh darn it, what is happening? What the heck is going on here? Throwing stuff at me? Good God. All right, so I've had to pretty much
Bob for
walk
the
all
win.
over near the school trying to find some sort of ecosystem that was good for prey and predators. And I'm right along the railroad tracks, and you can see this area, sunlight gets to the ground because there's no trees next to the railroad tracks. So you can see all this tall grass and cattails, things like that, that animals can hide in. The only problem with this is when you have just a narrow strip, like along the railroad tracks, of cover where prey animals can get and hide, it makes it like a buffet for predators because they can just walk right along this, spy them, and just pounce right on top of them and catch them. You need a wider area, but the school just has so much canopy of the trees that there's no sun that gets to the forest floor. It's just all shade. So just need to open that canopy, and then the whole forest would look similar to this. Lots of places to hide, but also you can see the animals are not biting off these little trees like this. That's 90% of a deer's diet, is they nip the ends off these twigs on branches. That's the first year's growth, and they'll walk around and eat that all day long. That is their favorite thing to eat. So you want to have lots of that for them.